As we all know, we are in a state of war, and the situation is very dire. The soldiers are risking their lives every moment, and there are people who are captured who we are desperately hoping that will be saved, and there are the families, and there is so much pain, and there is so much difficulty. And in response, there have been many people who have done very courageous things in order to help. And people are doing a lot of chesed in order to be able to help either the soldiers or the families. I thought I would like to dedicate my next series of videos to explaining the different kapitlich of Tehillim that many people say, so that our Tehillim and our teffilos can be more meaningful and hopefully better understood, and thereby have more impact in Shemayim as well. In each video, I will start off with an introduction explaining a little bit about that kapitel Tehillim, where it comes from or why it was authored. And then we will focus on the main theme, so that we can be able to focus on that when we say that Tehillim. We will then go through the kapitel word by word to make sure we understand it, and I will conclude with a story or some application that helps us understand and relate to that kapitel, particularly in times of challenge. I ask you to join with me, of course, in a tefillah that Hashem will save all of the soldiers and protect them and help them be successful, as well as bring the captives back home, and that will improve our situation so that we will no longer be in war, but rather in a time of peace and shalom. The first kapitel I would like to look at is Kuf Chaf Aleph. Shir Lamalas Esa Einei. This is one that is classically said at times of challenge and difficulty. But first, let's look at all 15. There are 15 prakim of Tehillim that all start with the words Shir Hamalas. They represent the songs that the Leviim said in the Beis Hamikdash. They were on the 15 steps that went from the Ezras Nashim to the Ezras Yisrael. And as the Leviim ascended the steps, they would say one of these kapitlach. But Chazal tell us that David HaMelech originally authored these 15 kapitlach when he was digging the foundation of the Beis Hamikdash. And in their digging, they allowed the water to escape, and it threatened to flood the area. Achisofel, who was David's Rebbe, wrote the Shema Mefarish on a piece of pottery and threw it into the water. And then the water receded 16,000 amos beneath the ground. David HaMelech realized that that is not good as well, because the world needs that water. And therefore, he authored these 15 kapitlach. And at each kapitel that he said, the water came back 1,000 amos, until there was only 1,000 amos beneath the ground, and the world could still benefit from that water. And therefore, these 15 kapitlach are indeed a source of returning of salvation in times of difficulty. Chazal further say that they represent the 15 steps that the people who are in Galus need to be able to travel in order to come back to a time of Gula. The first one that we will look at is actually the second of the 15 steps. However, it is the only one that is written with a lamed before the word malos. So here it says Shir La Malos. And some indicate that it was indeed the first step. In other words, it is the first thing we need to do in order to return and to bring ourselves back from Galus, or back from difficulties. Now let us explore the main theme. When we say Esa Einei El HaHarim, David HaMelech is evoking an emotion of desperation, where we have exhausted all means of salvation. And we are forced to look beyond our borders. We are forced to look to the heights, to look to somewhere else for our salvation. And when we find none, Me'ayin Yova Ezri, we finally can be able to conclude, Ezri Me'im Hashem, that Hashem is the only thing that can save us. But on a deeper level, we don't have to wait until we've exhausted all of our normal means of salvation. We strive to reach that emotional state of recognizing that really it's always from Hashem. Even when the natural means of success or the natural means of salvation come forth, It's also only Mikayach Hashem, and they are just the shluchim of Hashem. And then we were able to still have that understanding and that connection and that relationship with Hashem, but we can do it at a state where it's not as desperate. But now let's look at the words. Shir Lamalus, a song for ascending the steps, whether they are the steps of the Beis Hamikdash, or the steps of us returning from Golus, or the steps from us overcoming a challenge. Esa Einei el haharim. The Pashim Shat means that I will lift my eyes towards the mountain tops, or perhaps going to Psalm means I will ascend the mountains to look further for my solutions. But on the deeper level, we're saying it means I look past all of the physical solutions, and I'm able to see through all the way to the heavens. Where is my salvation coming? Ezri mi'im Hashem. My salvation will come from Hashem, the one who created the heavens and the earth, and everything is under his dominion. That Hashem will not allow our foot to slip. And our guard does not sleep. As opposed to human salvations, they always will need to have time of sleep, or they will not be available. However, with Hashem, he neither slumber nor sleeps. A person, a human, even if they will push themselves beyond their normal limits and will stay awake, but they will be tired and exhausted. But Hashem, not only does he not sleep, but he does not slumber as well. There is no lull in his protection, for he does not need to rest. Shomer Yisrael, that is the guard of Yisrael. Hashem Shomrecha, Hashem is our God. Hashem Tzilcha al Yad Yaminecha, Hashem is always found by us. Just as our shadow is always at our side, so too Hashem will always be there for us. Yoimam Hashemesh lo yakeko, the sun will not harm us during the day, v'yarech b'layla, nor will the moon harm us at night. Indicating there are challenges that are most commonly found during the day and some that are more commonly found at night or different parts of the seasons. Hashem will be able to protect us from them all. Hashem Yishmor Meikora, Hashem will protect us from all of them. Yishmor Es Nafshecha, but not only our physical needs will Hashem be able to protect and provide us with, but also our spiritual and emotional needs. Hashem Yishmor Tzeischo B'Yecho, Hashem will guard us both as we leave and as we return. When there are common times for difficulty, when we go out to battle, and even the uncommon times of difficulties when we're returning from battle, Me'ato v'yad olam, now and always. I would like to share with you a story that took place with us recently that really brought out this theme to me and helped me learn this lesson. As many of you know, our son, Simcha Dov, has early onset ALS, and he is in bed the entire day. Periodically, he gets infections that he needs to receive antibiotics for. Most recently, when he did get an infection, and the doctors tested, they came back with terrible results. Indeed, he had a very harsh form of an infection, but the worst news was that it was not sensitive to any of the antibiotics, and the doctors were not sure what to do in order to help him. We did some of the procedures that helped the original problem, and then Hashem made a nace. That Simcha Dov's own immune system, the body that Hashem created, was able to recover without any antibiotics at all. But there was a time when we thought we had no solution, and we reached a point where we said, Esa Einei el haharim, me'ayin yovei Ezri. What are we going to do? The antibiotics won't work. What are we supposed to do? We have no solution. And then Hashem was able to save Simcha Dov without any medical intervention whatsoever. So that is the simple understanding of this kapitel. When you are desperate and there is no solution, we look to Hashem and Hashem will save us. But in truth, we also understood the deeper meaning. And that we understand that when the doctors are successful, and Baruch Hashem, we do have great doctors who we are so grateful for. Even when they are successful, they are just the shliach of Hashem. And we know that it's that same desperation that there is nobody else to help us. May ayin yovei Ezri, no human salvation is the source. It's all Ezri me'im Hashem, even when it works successfully through natural medicine and our human doctors. Please join me now as we daven for all of our soldiers, that they should be successful in battle and that they should come home safe and sound. They should be successful in freeing the captives, and they should all be able to return to their families. And we should all be able to experience a tremendous amount of Yeshua and Shalom. And may Hashem make their efforts successful. And we will recognize that it really comes from Hashem. We will know that Ezri Me'im Hashem, but please make them successful, make them come back safe and sound, so that we can again have our families return to us. If you would like to make sure that you receive these videos in the future, please log on to the website chinuchcoach.com. Click on the tab Contacts, put in your email and write in the subject letter video emails, or if you would like to receive this on WhatsApp, put down your number there and write down on the subject line, please add me to the WhatsApp group. I hope that you will be able to enjoy these videos and benefit from them, and may Hashem hear all of our teffilos, and they should answer them l'toiva, and we should see the Yeshua and the Nechama speedily and quickly, and may this war end and usher in an era of peace and shalom.
Esa Einei.